Hi everybody, and welcome to a superhero story better than Avengers Endgame for $0. Today, we'll look at everything from the dark day the superheroes fell to a mysterious monster, to the last superhero going to a dark prison to get the worst villain he ever fought to defeat the monster, to a hospital run by a maniac genius who uses black magic to heal both heroes and villains, and of course, superhero fights and epic battles more complicated and interesting than any superhero slop you have to pay $50 at the theater to be disappointed by. If you can imagine everything from jaw-dropping to heartbreaking, this story has you covered. Now, if you've been watching so far, you'll recognize the 6 parts of this story as the videos that changed the direction of my channel, from fan fictions to original superhero stories. But I understand that it can be a bit complicated to go back and watch the whole thing from square one, so I went back and took out all the intros and outros, as well as any repeated context to the story to give you one straight run through the entire series. And I also get better at editing and the presentation style throughout the video, so I've left timestamps down below of where each original video begins. But I'm confident that if you love superhero stories with a dark twist, there's something in this video for you. So without further ado, let's get started with the first superhero movie on the Brave Jake channel. Thank you so much for watching. For 10 years, Mega City was a bastion of hope, protected by incredible heroes with awe-striking powers. Even though they fought villains, gods, and monsters, the heroes always won. Until he came to town. One by one, the heroes started disappearing. Armor Man, Tarantula, the Human Bat, Katana Girl. Even Mega Punch, the invulnerable hero who can fly faster than a bullet, disappeared all the same. They weren't kidnapped. They weren't trapped in another dimension. They were dead, and the only thing they had in common was him. The thing in the sewers, in the pipes, in the walls. The Painted Man. At first, people thought the heroes were on vacation or something. It wasn't unusual for Mega Punch or the Human Bat to get sucked into a wormhole. But then Mega Girl and Tarantula disappeared, and then Armor Man and Katana Girl, and where are they disappearing to? He didn't make himself known like the other villains. He didn't have a big plan, a death ray, a motive. His only desire seemed to be seeing if he could kill them. And on the cold night of a city without heroes, Ghost Man woke up finding himself to be the last hero in the city. Ghost Man was never supposed to be the only hero in Mega City. He didn't look the part. He wore a white suit and some sunglasses. Not exactly the Human Bat's Kevlar or Tarantula's bright, skinny tights. The thought of the whole city's residents looking to him alone for help made him uncomfortable. Plus, his powers, speaking to ghosts, blasting the ghost to move himself through space, and using ghost skin to make himself transparent, weren't exactly A-list. The weakness of the blast, the farther they got away from his body, his lack of people skills with the ghost, and the struggle of being transparent for more than 30 seconds made him more of a C-list villain than a hero. But Ghost Man never turned villain. Still, he was a loner. Big heroes almost never talked to him. So when the ghost of Katana Girl walked into his office screaming, he was surprised. "He's awful, Ghost. So awful." "Katana, you're dead?" "We're all dead, Ghosty. He killed us all." "Killed? Even Mega Punch? But he's invulnerable." "I know. I don't know how he did it." Ghost Man's stomach filled with ice. "But he's what got me into being a superhero in the first place." He looked at his desk. The one frame picture on there was with Mega Punch. He'd invited Ghost Man to an all-night diner after they saved the mayor's daughter from Mephisto's graveyard. He was the only superhero who really tried to be his friend. But Ghost Man didn't have friends. "You have to kill him," Katana Girl's ghost said. "I can't. No ghost walker who knows the reality of death could possibly." "I get it, and I respect that about you. But him, he's different. The only thing that makes him happy is seeing people die, Ghost. It's..." Even though she was dead, she shuddered. Ghost Man shuddered too. He'd never seen Katana Girl afraid like that before. Then again, he'd never seen a hero as powerful as her dead. "Okay," Ghost Man said. "Where's your body?" It never rained in Mega City, which was why Ghost Man didn't bring an umbrella and why he was soaked in the downpour of unexpected rain. "I thought you fellas went extinct," the police chief said, walking with Ghost Man to the body. "Found Katana Girl about an hour ago. So sad. You know she went to my niece's birthday party after she spent all night saving the city from a serial killer? Ah, hell. I can't believe she's gone. The best thing we can do is find her killer. Ghostman scanned the scene. He didn't see anything. No body. Where? The chief pointed. Katana Girl's body was up in a tree. Ghostman didn't have a weak stomach, but even he shuddered. Katana Girl's ghost materialized next to him. How did he overpower you? Your katana surely should have kept you. No, Ghosty, you don't understand. She started smiling. Ghostman forgot that before she was a hero, Katana Girl was an actress. My katana, I gave it to him. I wanted to. Did he mind control you? Did he use magic to? No, Ghosty, I wanted to give it to him. Ghostman turned around. This was a setup. What? Why do ghosts come back from the dead? They come back because they have unfinished business in the world of the living. Usually someone they want to help. Yeah, but the person I wanted to help wasn't you. Ghostman shuddered. This was a setup. See, I didn't get you over here for you. She looked sad as she faded into the shadows, the place where ghosts go when they finish their business. I did it for him. What? All my life was violence and blood. He showed me I didn't need to fight anymore. You don't have to either. Being a superhero as futile as being a grain of sand against the ocean. You wanted him to kill you? The world is so much more peaceful after death. You'll see. A cold voice scratched against Ghostman's mind. All your friends are gone. You're all alone. Why don't you just give up? Out of the shadows, from under a tree, came a man painted entirely black, from his head to his toe. He was painted slick, like he was drowned in oil. Your shadow's coming. Somebody cut me off of your feet. He stalked from under the tree to Ghostman, like he had all the time in the world. This crazy guy killed Mega Punch? You're the last one, you know. Don't you want to join the other heroes through the doors of death? Maybe then they would actually like you. Ghostman took a step back. Chief, he's here. The officers fanned out, but as soon as they looked for him, the painted man melted into the floor. In the rain, his slick, black liquid looked just like a puddle. Ghostman scanned with his hands out, ready to launch Ghost Blast at him when he got up. Why are you killing heroes? Silence. Where is he? The chief said, turning his flashlight on. He's made out of liquid. He's made out of... The painted man rose up from a puddle and threw a dagger of black paint at Ghostman, who went transparent, the dagger passing right through him. The cops fired, but painted man had melted again. Paint spread from his feet into the rain puddles at the feet of the officers. Chief, watch out! And the puddles ate the police officers, melting them into pools of liquid, making the painted man stronger. Ghostman frantically floated off the ground to avoid getting swallowed. They see what you don't, that your struggle doesn't matter. The only true rest is death. No! The painted man materialized out of the water. Ghostman blasted ghosts at him, but the painted man's body morphed, shrugging off the hit like it was nothing. His telekinetic blast could bring down elephants. This guy was strong. And a murderer. Ghostman blasted him again, making a hole in his chest. Was he black paint all the way through, made out of liquid? Strong, but not strong enough. The painted man slid up to Ghostman and put his hand on his shoulder, almost like a friend would. The black paint of his skin stained Ghostman's crisp, white suit. The puddle surrounded Ghostman, trapping him. How does it feel knowing nothing you did mattered? All the struggling, all the lives you saved. Well, just go into my painted body. He seemed relaxed, comfortable, like he had all the time in the world. Give up. The Painted Man looked at his arm on Ghostman's back. Ghostman went translucent, leaving his clothes solid. The Painted Man's paint had eaten through his suit and almost touched his skin. Ghostman ran through, passing through the Painted Man's body. Usually when Ghostman goes through someone's body, he feels their soul, but the Painted Man had nothing. He was black paint, fluid all the way through. Ghostman fell onto the ground away from Painted Man. He blasted construction equipment at him, spraying road salt everywhere, causing the Painted Man to recoil back. "I thought you just talked to ghosts." The Painted Man smiled, using his liquid to push the construction equipment far away. "Not even close," Ghostman said. Hundreds of ghosts launched out of his arms at the Painted Man, and the Painted Man melted, dodging Ghostman's telekinetic attacks. The black paint spread from Painted Man's feet all across the ground, going towards Ghostman's ankles. "Oh, no you don't." Ghostman shot ghosts to the ground, flying up over the patio, landing into Katana Girl's tree. The Painted Man rose through the branches, twisting them slick and black. Wherever Ghostman reached, the wood turned to sludge, forcing him higher and higher in the tree. Painted Man's face stretched across the bark, lips wide, eyes huge. The most powerful people in the world are also the most exhausted. They're so tired, Ghostman. And I'm the only one kind enough to make them sleep. Ghostman went translucent, shot underground, and came up a few blocks away, but the Painted Man was already there, waiting for him. The Painted Man stretched and grew, turning himself into a thin, wispy abomination. "You convinced them to die?" "I convinced them to consider it. My paint did the rest." The Painted Man expanded. "All they wanted was a break, and now they're dead. Do you know how much fun I'm gonna have when I'm the last one who's special?" He was the size of a mountain now, a spindly waste of black paint and tentacles stretching from the earth to the sky. "Do you know how much paint there is in a city like Mega City? Do you know that I don't just control paint, but all liquid?" Ghostman tried to use Ghost Blast to fly up above the Painted Man's head, but he kept getting taller. His mouth was wide enough to swallow an airplane. Why are they not here like Katana Girl was, Ghostman?" "Because they really were exhausted. They're in a better place, and you're all alone." He was bigger, more powerful than ever. Someone like Mega Punch could fight him, maybe, but Ghostman just wasn't strong enough. "Once you die, you won't be lonely anymore. I promise." The Painted Man stabbed at him with a sharp tendril after sharp tendril. Ghostman was running out of transparency. The Painted Man was everywhere. He was pushed to his limit. "He can't do this." Painted Man loomed over the city, voice sloshing like black waves. "I don't kill heroes, Ghostman. I let them kill themselves. And once you join them, you'll finally understand why." Ghostman ran away. He wasn't proud of it, but it was the only thing he could think of doing. When he was flying across the city in his underwear, he felt what the Painted Man was saying. He was all alone. The heroes all left him? Back in his office, he changed and tried to contact the ghosts in the city, but many of them were gone, drawn to a big soul right behind him. "Hi, Ghosty." Mega Punch looked good for a ghost. He was tall and muscular and a bit pale. If Ghostman had been anyone else, he would have thought he was alive. But Ghostman knew he was dead. "How do I beat him, Mega Punch? How do I stop his powers?" Mega Punch sighed. "I always thought it was a shame you didn't have that many friends. You're pretty funny once you get the whole talking to dead people thing behind you." "Did he really kill you? I need to stop him before anyone gets hurt." "He doesn't hurt civilians, Ghosty. Just us. He killed 14 police officers trying to get to me. He wants to eat everyone." "What?" Mega Punch looked confused. "But he said everything he told you was a lie. Come on, man. Did you really believe him when he said death was rest?" "It's strange. He spoke to me when I was fighting him. I was so tired." Paint slid under Ghostman's door. "I could have stopped him," Mega Punch said. "I almost beat him. He just surprised me is all." "Why would you believe him?" Mega Punch looked at Ghostman, sad. Because he's right. Every time we save someone, 10 more die. Every victory is meaningless. He offered me the one thing I could never earn. Rest. The painted man's face formed out of ooze, and his shadow went all around the room. Quick, how do I beat him? But Megapunch wasn't listening. He was lost in his own despair. Ghostman went transparent. The painted man's toxic paint stabbed where he was a second earlier. You can't beat him. The only thing you can do is rest. He got you, Megapunch. He's made of liquid. Even if he's strong, he controls everything, but you just couldn't take that he would actually beat you, so you let him tell you a beautiful lie, and then kill you. The realization hit Megapunch hard. Ghostman went solid. And I can't stop him. Not without your help. But Painted Man sliced at him with a blade of ooze. Ghostman went solid at the last second. How did you almost beat him? Tell me. But Megapunch was too stunned to care. Now that I think of it, I don't feel rested. All I feel is guilt. Do you want to be a real hero? Ghostman shot Ghost at Painted Man's blades, but Painted Man was faster, and he could only be transparent in short bursts. He was gonna mess up. Megapunch looked defeated. He dodged Painted Man's laughing claws. Tell me how I can beat him. But there's no point. The world's going to be in danger again and again. That's why we have to be heroes, to save people from monsters like him. Do you want a medal? There's evil in the world, and we're the only ones who can stop it. The Painted Man cut Ghostman's cheek. He went transparent right before he could get killed. The fire went back into Megapunch's eyes. That was the hero Ghostman remembered. Salt. He didn't like table salt. Salt? Die! The Painted Man slashed Ghostman's leg. Ghostman used Ghost to shoot high in the sky, above the building, above the city. Salt? Salt. Painted Man grew huge and slinked tendrils, coming at him with an open mouth. Ghostman shot through the city, but the Painted Man was everywhere, controlling every liquid. All the buildings, all the rivers were black, full of his body. The only safe place was the ocean. The waves of Mega Beach sounded. There was a storm coming. Ghostman didn't know if he would be alive to see it. Salt, if he went to a kitchen or... No. He called ghosts from all over the city. They came to him like subjects to a king. He used their ghost bodies to form a huge telekinetic bowl, falling into the ocean. The Painted Man was everywhere. He was coming. He was here. Come on, just shunk. The Painted Man stabbed Ghostman through the chest. His transparency ran out. There's a difference between wounds that hurt you and wounds that kill you. Ghostman realized he'd never been hurt like this before. It's for the best this way. After death, you'll be with your friends. Ghostman fell into the sand. He started bleeding. Is this it? Is he dying? No more heroes. No more suffering. Give up. It's easy. That's the difference between you and me, murderer. Using the last of his strength, Ghostman lifted the telekinetic cup of salt water. I never give up. The ocean fell as a crushing wave, salt hissing against Painted Man's body. Each crystal dried him out. The liquid had nowhere to go. It was corroding, melting. Painted Man screamed and tried to slink away, but the water covered him, diluting his paint from solid to acid. He melted into the sand, pulling his body close, trying to stretch toward land and escape, but it wasn't enough. No, it's not fair. It's not. Painted Man died. The waves crashed. Ghostman slumped down on the beach, watching the storm come in. And as Ghostman bled out onto the sand, he looked up at the sky. He saw Megapunch's ghost fade into the blackness alongside him. I'm sorry I lost my way. Thanks for putting me back on track, Megapunch said, fading to the place ghosts go when they've accomplished their mission. The empty, mysterious realm of death. I'll miss you, buddy, Ghostman said. And Ghostman knew the Painted Man was wrong. He did have a friend. There's a place in Mega City that's neutral ground between superheroes and supervillains. A place they both need, and if they burned it to the ground fighting, they would all be screwed. The only hospital that operates on superpowered beings. Dr. Insane's hospital. Dr. Insane has lived for many, many years, but still looks about 40. No one really knows where he came from, except for the fact that he has a faint British accent and wears a bizarre costume reminiscent of a plague doctor. But he's the one who figured out how to cut through impenetrable skin, how to operate on a man made entirely out of rock. It's simple, really. Dark magic. If there's no cure in the vast medical text that Dr. Insane speed reads every night, Dr. Insane goes into the dark part of his mind. The part you keep buried deep down that doesn't really mind if you kill the person who cut you off in traffic or murder that neighbor that keeps stomping on the apartment one floor above you. The dark side. Through years and years of study, Dr. Insane learned that the dark side is really just a demon inside all of us. A literal demon trying to turn us into psychopaths and send us to demon world after we die, latching onto another person's soul, whispering to them to do bad things, forever. But that demon is quite knowledgeable. It knows spells of every variety. Through his vast knowledge, Dr. Insane learned to stop aging. He remembers coming to America, shaking George Washington's hand. The Civil War, the First World War, the Great Depression, the Second and Third World Wars, the advent of superheroes, and the bizarre day where most of them died, all because he lived through it. He wasn't a superhero. Not really. He was just a doctor. He was doing surgery all the while, listening to the dark side to have the spells to heal as many people as he could, hero or villain. But the dark side always threatens to take over. And when it does, God help the world. A man with such knowledge and such mastery of the dark arts could be a problem, an apocalypse with 2 eyes and 1 brain, a god. So when Dr. Insane saw that every superhero was murdered and the only surviving hero was Ghostman, Dr. Insane felt relieved, but he was also deeply afraid. The dark side wanted to take over, to make him join the villains and enslave whoever couldn't run away from this godforsaken city fast enough. Ghostman stumbled into his hospital and fell onto the freshly cleaned white floor with his chest cut wide open, and Dr. Insane sighed. He remembered the oath he took when he became a doctor all those years ago. In England, before World War was even a fantasy, before America was free. I will heal the sick and keep them from harm and wrong. And through all these years, he had never forgotten his promise. Doctor, Nurse Idiot said in disbelief. She had a medical degree from Harvard, but Dr. Insane didn't respect Americans who didn't come from Oxford with less than 300 years of practice. So Nurse Idiot she was. Wow, he walked here. I wonder how he could do it when his heart is... Nurse Idiot threw up on the floor. At this point, Nurse Idiot, the last thing I'd expect in this hospital is for anything to surprise you. My name is Silence and Effort, Nurse Idiot. Silence and Effort. As she loaded Ghostman into a gurney and wheeled him into the surgery room, Dr. Insane tried to breathe. No more heroes, boss, his demon Exaxel said. The demon was only visible to Dr. Insane. It might be time to hang up the gloves for good. Skip town. Oh yes, and then we can wrap ourselves in toilet paper and pretend to be mummies. Get out of here with your sub-160 IQ ideas. You're lost, boss. I got a date with a minxy little succubus that I just want to... Spare me the details, Axel. The demon disappeared in a puff of smoke, and Dr. Insane stepped into the surgery room to find an empty table. His patient had phased through. Nurse Idiot. Nurse Idiot stared at the table, dumbfounded. Where's my dying patient? He, phased through the table and the floor and 2 other floors. He might still be going to the, center of the earth. Axaxel! Axaxel reappeared with a thong made of fire in his hands. Oh yeah, baby. Poke me with your... Hey! Axaxel, I need a spell to bore into the center of the earth and save a man who, against his will, is plummeting towards the earth's molten core and sudden death and all that. Well, how do we know the earth is flat anyway, boss? I mean, what do I need to do to get the spell, Axaxel? Some sort of juvenile punishment, I assume? He looked around the room. Get on all fours and make monkey noises. Don't be ridiculous. Okay, fine. I want you to... Axaxel saw Nurse Idiot looking at Dr. Insane like he was completely nuts. Only the person whose demon it is can see their demon, kind of like a really annoying imaginary friend. Tell Nurse Idiot that she's smart. No, oh God, no, for the love of God, I'll do the monkey noises. I will do the monkey noises. He got on all fours. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, and all that. Oh, yes. No, I like the second idea. Tell her she's smart. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. The doctor started swinging around the operating room, but it was no use. Axaxel had decided his punishment. All his internists, doctors from all around the world learning from him in the observation room, took notes.
No dice, boss. Compliment or the transparent albino superhero dies.
He turned to Nurse Idiot. He'd rather fight 1,000 demons than give her one compliment. You, Nurse Idiot cringed. He strained with great effort. He couldn't say it. Suspended? Set free? Secretly a lesbian? Smart. Nurse Idiot burst into tears. I knew you liked my paper on super speed. I didn't even think you read it, but I just knew it. Dr. Insane had liked your paper. Sometimes he remembered that Nurse Idiot was actually one of the best doctors in the world. Axaxel whispered the spell into Dr. Insane's ear, then disappeared in a puff of smoke. Dr. Insane's eyes lit up with knowledge. Amaranta discuvius mirati. The ground snapped open, splitting the hospital in two, creating a giant hole boring to the center of the earth, where Dr. Insane saw a faint white figure plummeting towards the earth's core. Axaxel! Axaxel appeared naked and tried to cover himself with a surgery mask. I can control the earth, but he's still transparent. How do I stop his powers?
Hi, boss. Take off your clothes and spin around.
At least let me keep my underwear on.
Don't make me make you give compliments again.
I hate you.
I hope you die.
Dr. Insane did what his demon said, and suddenly gained knowledge of the spell he needed. Nurse Idiot was still crying from the compliment and didn't care that he was probably harassing her in some way. Dr. Insane learned the hard way that trying to explain Axaxel to people was only met with worried stares. And the spells worked, so being known as a crazy guy was a necessary evil. Axaxel whispered the spell to him. Dr. Insane's eyes lit up. Vixirati Nexus Opadopio. Dr. Insane stopped Ghostman from falling and used his earth spell to pull him up to the operating table. Finally. Okay, needle and thread. Now. Dr. Insane got to work, putting the poor boy's chest back together and stitching him up with hundreds of years of practiced precision. Is his heart still beating? Yes. He just has to fight. Dr. Insane touched the boy's forehead. He never liked him. People with death powers reminded him too much of Demon World and the other place. The place the good people go. The place he hoped all the dead heroes went, if he couldn't save them. He hated this part after his work was done. The waiting. He's really the last one left, isn't he? I haven't slept in 3 days and never leave the hospital, so... Right. Well, I hope he's not the last one. Too many funerals is murder on my schedule. So, did I bully you enough to quit yet today? I didn't mean any of the compliments, and I hate you. To his dismay, she smiled. No, I think I'll stay on another day. He put his hand on her shoulder. She was a good kid. She'd make a great doctor. She should leave this place before she ended up like him. I should start calling you Nurse Stupid Face. Doctor, she said. He thought she was chastising him, but she was looking up in absolute terror. He turned around, looking up to the observation deck full of resident doctors. They were dead, vaporized, all of them but one. And a cyborg with a glowing red eye was finishing them off. This must be one of Cyborg Master's creations. Death to humans, one of Cyborg Master's slaves screamed as he went berserk, shooting lasers out of both arms at the defenseless doctors running for help in the observation deck. Cyborg Master was a supervillain recently apprehended by the hero the Human Bat, obsessed with taking disabled homeless people and turning them into cybernetic monsters. He would promise things like them being able to walk again, but instead turn them into mindless soldiers for his quest to turn every human into a cyborg. Cyborg Master had been ripped almost in half by the superhero the Human Bat after he invaded a school for the blind and tried to take the children hostage. And Dr. Insane had run around with his underwear on his head for almost 3 hours before Axaxel gave him the spell to put him back together again. Dr. Insane had spent 12 hours repairing the supervillain's spine, and now his slaves were killing people. For all his years, Dr. Insane felt like the stupidest person in the world. Axaxel! Axaxel reappeared with a sock and a bathrobe on. What? The cyborg slave was going berserk. All organics must die. Spell to neutralize a large physical attacker. Now!
Give Nurse Idiot a hug.
Gah! You had to do it. He had no choice.
God damn it.
Dr. Insane hugged Nurse Idiot, and she smiled.
Here you go.
Poof. Bucacius inus jufascis. Splooge. The cyborg slave got caught in a sticky white glue trap and short-circuited, trying to get himself out. He turned to the terrified doctor and watched the other residents he vaporized to death in the observation room. His hands were shaking. Dr. Insane slapped him on the cheek lightly. Come on, doctor. What's a little blood? What's a little brains to us? We see more horror and pain and suffering than a normal human sees in their lifetime before our lunch break. Are you really going to have shaky hands after that?" The doctor shook harder. He was terrified. "But my friends..." Dr. Insane knew the pain of losing friends. He'd lost hundreds, but right here, right now, he can make a new one. "Doctor, that's not good enough. There are so many people out there at the doors of death, and we are the only ones who can save them. You won't. No, you can't give in to your fear now. Because the world needs you." The doctor let out a shaky breath. Nurse Idiot smiled at him. "Okay. Good. Now, this is a tragedy, but I'm sure there's some staff around here somewhere. Go and help them. See if I can save them." "Yes, sir," he smiled, running out into the hall. "Doctor. Just doctor, please." Nurse Idiot was beaming at him. She absolutely adored working here. It was annoying. "I find your teeth disgusting and suggest you see a dentist." She laughed and followed him out of the surgery room into the hall. He left surgery to find the hospital in absolute chaos. Lasers flew around Dr. Insane's floor, and his doctors and nurses, good people he trained for years, were running for their lives. Dr. Insane tried to summon his earth powers from before, but he'd forgotten the spell. Spells wear off after about a minute. He'd have to prostrate himself to Exaxel if he wanted more spells, but... "Look out!" The doctor from before, the one he'd inspired, who was on the cusp of becoming great, tackled Dr. Insane to the ground before he was vaporized into dust. Dr. Insane held his ashes and held a scream of anguish deep inside himself and turned to face the murderer. But there were too many killers for him to count. So much for neutral hospital. So much for, "I don't care if you save or hurt people. I'm here. You will be healed." For the first time, a villain had broken Dr. Insane's rule. Cyborg Master and his slaves were free. Cyborg Master was a former engineer for GovTech who, like so many GovTech employees, got jealous of the superheroes chosen to get serums and drank a serum himself. He drank a superintelligence serum and became a master of robotics. Unlike the other defects, most of whom were in jail, Cyborg Master had evaded capture by cutting into his own body and replacing it with deadly weapons. Deadly, but so sad. The man was barely 30 and had completely turned into a monster. His army of slaves had come to bust him out of here. Of course, Ghostman was unconscious, recovering for surgery. There were no more heroes to protect the hospital. The way of the old world was gone. "Don't you see?" Cyborg Master screamed. Dr. Insane thought Cyborg Master didn't have emotions, but he had them now. The cyborg was afraid. His red eyes were almost crying.
"The Painted Man is coming for us. There's no escaping him. We must fight with him to survive. We must go back to the law of the jungle. Kill or be killed."
Cyborg Master and his slaves were killing with impunity. Dr. Insane had just put his heart back together. All of them knew if they killed here, he would never help them again. And they didn't care, because the heroes were dead, and it was just the doctor and Ghostman left to stop them. The staff he tried to turn away. All the people he'd insulted constantly but still showed up here day after day because they believed, like he believed, that all life was sacred. They were being killed, one by one, killed because of him. "Exaxel, please!"
"Come on, Doc,
Exaxel saw the chaos. He laughed, pleased. The only thing demons find joy in is chaos, and they like chaos most of all.
Groovy, baby."
And Dr. Insane had no joke. No remark for him. "I need a way to stop all this killing with as little people dead as possible. Please."
That's a big ask. Insane.
Cyborg Master saw Dr. Insane. His arm turned into a Gatling gun and he started firing. Dr. Insane grabbed Nurse Idiot and dove behind a desk as his staff ran for cover.
"Ah! You screamed like a girl."
"Exaxel, please. I'll do anything." Exaxel watched the chaos longingly.
"Why? If you lose this place, you might actually..."
Cyborg Master rounded the corner. In a second, he would fire, and Dr. Insane would be dead. "Do you think this is a partnership, Exaxel? I beat you. I went all the way down to Demon World and stole your soul key. You're not my friend, you're my slave, and you will do what I say." Exaxel's eyes burned with hate.
"Kiss, Nurse Idiot."
"Are you serious? I'm her boss, and I'm about 460 years too old for her. Ridiculous."
"I want to see it."
"Fine." He turned to Nurse Idiot. She was horrified. All the pain and suffering. "I'm sorry about all this." "What?" He brushed his fingers against her cheek. He thought she would slap him, but she didn't. She looked into his eyes. "I'm so scared." "Me too." He kissed her. He can't remember the last time he kissed a woman. It didn't seem fair after all these years. All his lovers, even his children, were long dead. Being immortal on Earth is infinite pain and suffering. He focused on his work instead. But her lips, her warmth lit something he thought could never be lit again inside him. She blushed feverishly. "Doctor, Cyborg Master pointed his gun at Dr. Insane. There was nowhere to hide now, nowhere to go.
You didn't have to grab her cheek, Doc. Foxy.
Noxus Eternus. An EMP emerged from Dr. Insane's lips, making Cyborg Master and all his slaves go to sleep. A sleep so deep they wouldn't wake from it for days. Dr. Insane saw their sleeping faces. He picked up a scalpel still in his hand and went to Cyborg Master. He ripped his faceplate open, revealing the crystal that powered everything. His brain, his soul. He could cut his circuits out. It wouldn't even be killing. All his body had been replaced anyway. Doctor? Nurse Idiot and his staff, the ones who survived, they were all staring at him in horror. The ones who still believed in him couldn't believe what he was about to do. He dropped the scalpel and ran to the surgery room. There was nowhere left to run from the tears, so they flowed. He was alone in the world. All the heroes were dead. His hospital, this city were doomed. Nothing was left but rage and pain and Doctor, Ghostman, his patient, had just woken up. His powers were activated. He glowed with ghosts. He was ready to fight Dr. Insane if he snapped. If Dr. Insane became the monster Saxel so desperately wanted him to be, this hero, the last hero, was ready to fight him. And Dr. Insane said to himself, "Not today." "Ah, Ghostman, how are you feeling?" Ghostman smiled. He put his ghosts away. "Relieved. At least one of us is still alive." He was talking about him. Usually, Dr. Insane objected to being on the side of heroes, but the scales were tipped. The heroes needed numbers, and the city needed saving. And Dr. Insane knew he could keep going. As long as one good man were still alive, he could keep going. Even if the good man was as messy and flawed and broken as he was. All the superheroes are dead, except one. A C-list hero named Ghostman. Ghostman needed help. So with no options left, the last superhero walked into a building no one would ever notice. A small 15-floor office of a logistics company. A messenger bag slung over his crisp, white tuxedo. The security guard stared. "Ghostman, I thought all you hero types was dead." "Not yet." The guard rubbed his hands on his pants. He looked nervous, scared about the heroes being gone. Ghostman didn't blame him. He was scared too. "They're waiting for ya." Ghostman got into the rickety elevator. He looked at the 15 buttons and pressed a floor. 13. Most elevators don't even have a 13th floor. People think it's bad luck, but the people who live on floor 13 deserve all the bad luck they can get. Instead of going up from the ground floor, the elevator went down. Ghostman made his head transparent and stuck it through the side of the elevator, watching the elevator go down past the rock floor, past electrical wiring, weaving between bullet train tubes, electrical wiring, and an old, decommissioned subway tunnel. Deeper, under thousands of tons of fresh water. Deeper, under the water, Ghostman saw a sheet of steel humming with energy. The ceiling of floor 13. The prison for supervillains. As he went transparent through it, the steel buzzed, shutting his transparency off, making him pull his head out and fall down onto the elevator floor. Wow. Floor 13 security was getting really good. He tried to shake off his daze and get to his feet when the door opened, revealing a hero killer. With warm, smooth steel skin and handsome features, Ghostman thought that the hero killers looked more like artistic dancers than robots. But if you cut them open, you can see the wires. They were super strong, super fast, and deadly, designed to kill superhumans. They could rip through reinforced battle armor in 3.2 seconds. Ghostman remembered fighting these things in the war, back when other countries thought they could beat America's superheroes with machines. The hero killer put out his hand to shake.
"Ghostman, welcome to floor 13.
"I don't shake hands with slickskins. I'm here to see Alexander." The machine put its hand down. It hesitated for one moment, then started moving.
"Certainly, Apocalypse Man is right this way."
"His name is Megaboy."
"That was before. When a hero turns villain, they get a new classification in our database in GovTech Media. The Megacity Times called him Apocalypse Man."
I know, Slickskin. They walked past humming steel doors made of the same unbreakable, impenetrable metal that reinforced the walls, somehow resistant to Ghostman's transparency. Inside them were villains that Mega Punch and his society of heroes had put behind bars. A skin hopper named Jessie Jane, who had killed 628 women. She wore a pretty cheerleader's body, but the skin was sagging, melting.
"Hi, baby," she shouted. "Just look me in the eyes, baby. Do not listen to her. Our doors will stop her, but she can hop."
I know. I helped Mega Punch catch her. They walked past a man made of huge, powerful tentacles. More tentacles than man. He screamed in rage when they walked by the door.
"Where's Mega Punch? He stole my ocean from me!"
Ocean Man. Once a hero, but driven insane by the hero's unwillingness to fight GovTech's pollution of the oceans. It had taken every hero in the city to bring him down. He was practically a god. They looked in Ocean Man's cage.
"Give me the sea, Ghost Man. Just one drop of ocean water and I can get out of here, delivering a utopia of man and fish, an ocean so powerful that..."
Ghostman pressed the mute button on his cell. Silenced, Ocean Man went crazy, pushing out tentacles, slamming against the door with all his might. The machine hesitated.
"Wouldn't Ocean Man be more suitable for your goals of restarting the Society of Heroes?"
No, he'd just do more harm than good.
"But releasing Apocalypse Man, the contingencies alone are devastating. You and Dr. Insane could not..."
"I appreciate it. Take me into Alexander's cell."
"Very well."
Ocean Man grew even more tentacles, his human-like face morphing into a giant squid's. He screamed. When he's in the ocean, Ocean Man's even more powerful than Mega Punch.
"Excuse us, Corporal."
Ghostman stepped aside as 6 hero-killer robots lined up outside Ocean Man's cell.
"Let's move along."
The doors opened. Ocean Man screamed as the robots started beating him.
"You know it's wrong for them to lock me up in here, Ghost Man. We used to be friends. You met my child."
Ghostman balled his hands into fists as the hero killer bots filed into the cell and started shocking him over and over.
"The oceans are dying. I'm the only one who can save them. Please."
Shock. The doors closed.
"The Ocean King sired an heir? I didn't realize."
"Don't worry your superiors, Corporal," Ghostman sighed. "His kid is dead." He remembers Mega Punch breaking the sea monster's neck as he washed up onto the beach. "There was no other way," he had said. "He's 6 years old," Ghostman had responded. That was the day Ghostman left the Society of Heroes. And now, Ocean Man was locked up and his kingdom was dying. They say the Ocean King can only sire an heir once every 500 years. And Mega Punch killed him. So many mistakes. They walked past dozens of other villains. Void Man, the Lion God, Siddhartha, Blood Sacrifice, Iman Vask. People and things that could take over or kill everyone in Mega City if they got out. Villains they had pushed themselves to the limit to apprehend. And then they went to the inner wing, the safest part of the prison. It only had one prisoner.
"We're here. I will go in with you. I understand you have 100% transparent invulnerability, but Apocalypse Man could kill you before you have time to..."
"I need to speak to him alone."
"Respectfully, sir, if I close the door on you, I can't guarantee your safety."
"That's fine."
"Huh.
I didn't know Slickskins could laugh.
No, it's just... you really don't get it, do you?"
"He's dangerous. Only Mega Punch can stop him. Mega Punch is dead. I know, but I have to..."
"No. You're the last member, or ex-member of the society that's still alive. If you die, the last uninterrupted dose of the serum from a willing participant is dead. You are too important to leave in the hands of..."
"Do you know why I hate Slickskins, Corporal?" The Machine Man looked at Apocalypse Man's door with fear. Deep fear.
"I can't let you do this."
"I hate Slickskins because when people die, they leave a ghost. I can talk to the ghosts. See if they have regrets, if they have messages they want them to send to their family. When Slickskins die, they leave no ghosts. Meaning, they have no souls." The machine took a step back.
"Why do you hate us so much? If you heroes had let GovTech police enter Mega City, none of you would have died."
Ghostman's eyes glowed green. "Open the door."
"Let me go with you."
"No." Clang!
The machine grabbed Ghostman's neck. He went transparent, going through its circuits. He just had to find the brain wire and bzzzt. The same current that pushed away his transparency pushed him towards Apocalypse Man's door. Through several layers of force fields in the cell, Ghostman could swear he saw a smiling face. What is that? Static electricity?
We don't have to do this. I'm on your side. I'm just trying to keep you safe.
Where's the off switch, Slickskin? How do I get you to shut up?
I'll subdue you if I have to. You know this is putting everyone in Mega City, the world, in danger.
I guess the only off switch is taking you apart. The machine pushed against the floor, the ceiling, and then jumped kick at Ghostman in the face. Ghostman dodged, rolling across the hallway and facing the machine. He flew to the middle of the hallway and breathed. Thousands of ghosts, lost souls between living and being dead, came to him. He wasn't just Ghostman, he was the king of ghosts. His eyes glowed. Good night. The machine tried to vibrate and dodge a transparency attack, but ghosts flew out of Ghostman's hand, sending the machine tumbling down the hallway. The alarm sounded. Ghostman turned to the door. He knew that once he went into the cell, no one would help him. If this didn't work, if he got out of here, the machines might just throw Ghostman in a cell right next to him. He thought about how the threat laughed as all of Ghostman's friends died. He thought about how he wasn't strong enough to beat him. He pressed the button and entered the room. Force field after force field went down. Ghostman smoothed his rumpled suit and tried to breathe. But he was seeing Apocalypse Man. Being calm was out of the question. Beep. The door opened. Uncle Ghosty! It was so easy to forget that the most powerful superhuman on Earth was still 14 years old. And since he'd been in prison for 6 years, he was really more like 8 years old, severely stunted. He was still wearing his shredded clothes from the last battle, falling apart, but he had a chain around his neck, his arms, his legs, confining him. Alexander ran up to Ghostman, but was stopped by a chain dangling from the ceiling that kept him confined to the center of the room. Hey, buddy. Ghostman stayed at the edge of the room, trying to put on his best older brother smile. You kicked the hero killer's butt! It was so funny! I'm sorry you had to see that, kid. The hero killer wanted to go in the room with us, but I know how you hate robots, so we had a little disagreement. That's okay. It was awesome. He slinked down, using his arm chains as a kind of chair. Alexander didn't have a bed or chairs down here. Ghostman swallowed when he realized the kid was probably sleeping like this, standing up. He remembered holding Alexander in the hospital when he was a baby. His eyes glowed green even then. Alexander's mother had died giving birth to him. She was super too. They thought she was invincible. But she knew the risks of having a kid with Mega Punch, and now his dad was dead too. Tears welled up from inside Ghostman and he bit his cheek, trying not to show them. Alexander tilted his head to the side. What's wrong, Uncle Ghosty? Ghostman wiped his eyes with his sleeve and got himself together. Nothing, kid. Nothing. Beep. A slider on the door opened, usually for Alexander's food tray. Inside it was the messenger bag Ghostman carried when he walked in. He must have dropped it in the fight. On the other side of the force field, the corporal robot was looking at them in complete shock. Present! Alexander reached out for the gift, but he was stopped by his chain. Alexander flew off the ground easily as breathing and used all his strength to pull as hard as he could towards the briefcase. He could fly like his father. He was indestructible like his father. He was strong like his father. But that was only the beginning. Even though this place was designed to hold him, the room shook, and Ghostman almost wet himself from the fear. Hey kid, don't worry, I got this. Ghostman grabbed the messenger bag, held it in his hands. I have a present for you. Did Daddy say you could give me it? Ghostman's heart sank, so he didn't know. Daddy's late today. He comes to visit me at 2 p.m., but it's almost 5. Is he fighting a big monster? Ghostman's hands sweat as he held the briefcase. No. But then why isn't he here? It's so weird. Listen, buddy. Is he surprising me? Did he bring cake? It was my birthday a couple times, but Ghostman sighed. He clicked the messenger bag open. Inside it was Mega Punch's costume, blue, red, and white. A symbol. Daddy's costume? But he needs that. Alexander turned to Ghostman. His eyes glowed gold. Where's Daddy? Kid, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your dad passed away. Alexander stared at Ghostman. Huh, you're being silly. You and Daddy are playing a prank. Where is he? He looked around the empty, white cell. Daddy? Daddy? I'm not kidding, Alexander. I'm sorry. I got the guy that got him, but Alexander's head snapped 180 degrees, looking at Ghostman over his own back with glowing golden eyes. Where's my daddy? Ghostman went transparent as Alexander's neck stretched across the cell, snapping the chain and punching through Ghostman's chest in a sick headbutt. His face was stretched, with glowing gold flowing through the cracks in his face. Where is my daddy? The prison went into alert. He's dead, Alexander. I'm sorry, but the world needs you. The world needs you to be the new Meg. Give me my daddy back! Alexander's body cracked and clicked, warping. Muscles cracked out and ballooned, stretching Alexander to 9 feet tall. His fingers grew so long they were like talons, and he floated, pulling against his chains in all directions, punching and kicking Ghostman faster than he thought possible. It took every iota of his training to go transparent at just the right time, so Ghostman didn't die. Alexander, I'm sorry, but I need you to get yourself together so we can help people. No! Alexander's skin melted off his body, revealing a glowing pit of black hole energy that sucked everything in the room towards him. Ghostman blasted every single ghost he had to pull away from Alexander, but it was no use. He fell into Alexander's black hole. Ghostman always knew he would die. He had hoped it would be of old age, but he knew better. All his friends were murdered brutally, trying to protect people. But this was not what he expected death to look like. It was a penthouse on top of the tallest building in Mega City, Mega Punch's old house. Before. Ghostman looked out at the ocean view. They were so high up that you couldn't even hear the traffic. Wow. Alexander, wearing his Megapoi costume, sat on the ledge of the building. This is where I jumped off. I still remember Daddy told me that I didn't have any powers, but I wanted to fly just like him. Ghostman remembered the story. He checked the corners of the vision for any signs of illusions. And you did fly. Not that time. I remember. I fell down through the building over there. I think it was an office or something. 67 people died. Daddy covered it up, said that Lurcher or Voidman attacked it. Ghostman never heard that story. Across the city, there was a golden glow, like sunset in the middle of the day. What's happening over there, Alexander? Bad things. This was a memory. Ghostman could see himself in the distance. A memory of the day Alexander lost his mind. A younger Ghostman was fighting with the Society of Heroes, trying to save people from Alexander. The 8-year-old boy's eyes were glowing. He was killing everyone in his path. His dad, Mega Punch, was pulling him away from the people, but he couldn't stop him. Alexander was always stronger than his dad. He just never knew it until that moment. Let's go see. No, let's go see your dad. No! Ghostman sighed. He watched a younger Alexander kill and kill and kill in the distance. Buildings collapsed. People fled. It was the worst mass casualty event in human history. So many ghosts. Look, kid, I know it's not fair that you're so powerful. I wish you could have had a normal childhood. You deserve that. He saw Alexander kill a truck full of police officers. He winced. And you made a lot of mistakes, I get that. But now, because you want me to punch something, you're gonna let me out and everything's gonna be okay, right? Alexander looked off in the distance, bitter. Ghostman watched Alexander get pinned down by his father, Tarantula, Armor Man, the Human Bat, and Katana Girl. The whole society working together to bring him down, to stop an 8-year-old boy. Look, I know it's not fair. And yeah, to be honest, I do want you to go punch something. But listen, I'm the last hero left. What? Yeah, this thing, the Painted Man, he was stronger than even your dad. I think he's stronger than you. And he's not dead. I just know it. Stronger than me? I hope not. But maybe. Then how do I stop him? Ghostman pointed, showing the young Alexander stretching and blasting, but the heroes were fighting him, holding on to him with all their might, beating him like they stopped you. By working together. Alexander sighed. He looked out over the city. For a moment, he looked just like a normal kid. You can talk to ghosts, right? Yeah. Did my dad's ghost ask about me? Ghostman remembered speaking to Mega Punch before he passed on. He'd had regrets. He'd been ashamed. But he hadn't mentioned his son even once. Mega Punch had never been a good father, always saving the world, never being there for his son. He'd visited him every day in Floor 13, but it was probably just to beef up security, keep the threat contained. He justified it to Ghostman, saying, "Great men can also be great parents." Little did he know his great parenting had made his son go berserk and kill 16,000 people. And still, when he died, Mega Punch hadn't even given his son a second thought. He wasn't perfect, but the world needed Mega Punch. It needed it so bad. Ghostman would kill to get Mega Punch. He would do anything. Ghostman had an idea. An awful idea. He hoped it would be forgiven for it. "Yeah," Ghostman lied. "He asked about you." "Really?" "Yeah. He said he wanted you to take over for him, now that he can't wear the costume." Ghostman ran through contingencies, fallback scenarios. If Alexander went crazy again, he said, "As long as you don't kill anybody, you can be the new Mega Punch." "But you want me to kill the guy who killed my dad, right?" "No. Not if we can't find another way." "But Daddy killed people." "I know, but your dad regretted it. He wants you to be the new Mega Punch and not kill anyone at all." "No one at all?" "No one." "And did he say he thought I was still good at the end?" After the apocalyptic event, after Alexander was contained and drugged up on enough tranquilizers to kill 30 normal superheroes, Ghostman remembered Mega Punch had done everything in his power to try and kill him. Kill his own son. But Alexander was too strong. "I've made a horrible mistake," Mega Punch had said. "I'll never forgive myself for it." And now he was dead. His son was an orphan, and he hadn't even cared when he died. Ghostman held his breath. If Alexander believed his lie, they might beat Painted Man and save the world. If he didn't, well, Ghostman tried. "Yes, he said he thought you were still good. A good boy who could become a great man. He said he loved you, and that he was proud of you." Alexander's eyes filled with tears.
"He did?"
"Yes, he did." Alexander hugged Ghostman, tight. His tears stained Ghostman's shirt.
"I always knew he didn't give up on me."
The memory they were in faded. Alexander was hugging Ghostman in the prison. Ghostman hugged him back. It was the right thing to do, wasn't it? Lying wasn't as bad as letting the world die. He looked into Alexander's eyes. "You promise you'll follow my orders and do what your dad said? Never kill anyone?" "Unless you tell me, Uncle Ghosty." Alexander's eyes glowed with excitement. "No, never. Promise," Alexander thought, long and hard. "Or I could just kill you right now and use your bones to escape." It took years and years of Ghostman facing the worst evils of the world for him not to tremble in fear. "Is that what your dad would have wanted?" Alexander smiled like a kid.
"No, I'm just kidding."
"Good." The elevator opened. Ghostman stepped out. The guard smiled. "Oh hey, Ghostman, did you..." He dropped his coffee on the floor. Alexander, wearing his father's costume, floated out of the elevator next to Ghostman. The security guard reached for his gun. Ghostman started to say something. "Not to worry, citizen," Alexander said. "Mega Punch has returned, and I'm here to save the day." And Ghostman couldn't stop his hands from shaking. He'd done the right thing, right? Or had he just doomed the world to a fate worse than death? Step 1. Get selected for training. Alexander stood in front of Ghostman on a city street. He'd just been let out of prison an hour ago. Their training began immediately. "I want you to understand something." "Yeah?" "If you lose control again, I will put you right back in that cell. I know you think I can't do it because you're stronger than me, but I've beaten way worse threats than you. I will break you if you break your promise. Got it?" The power inside Alexander flickered. His eyes glowed. Ghostman phased through him, pinned his arms behind his back with psychic energy, and pushed him into the dirt, stepping on his face. "Got it?" "Yes, Uncle Ghosty." First lesson. If you're on the team, we use code names only. You'll get a code name when you're ready. Ghostman kicked off the ground and flew into the sky. "Okay, let's begin. Step 2. Stop a crime without hurting anybody." Ghostman flew through the sky. He scanned Megacity. The city was pretty safe before when there were so many heroes, but now it was only a matter of time before he lost control. Zoom! Alexander flew past him. God, that kid was fast.
"It feels so good to fly again, Uncle Gus."
"Ghostman,
Right. First step of training is stopping a crime without hurting anybody. Let's start with something basic, like, oh my god! On the beach, a monster with shark skin was dragging a bleeding woman towards the ocean. It was Sharktooth, a serial killer Ghostman had been dealing with for years. He always slipped out of his fingers before he could catch him for good. You gotta be kidding me. Don't crash into anything when I'm gone. I'll deal with him and then No, if I beat him, I make it to the next step, right? It's not that. Zoom. Alexander zoomed past him and headed towards the beach. Hey! Ghostman flew after him. Sharktooth threw the woman on the ground. He was about to take a bite out of her arm when boom! Alexander punched him into the sand. I got him! The people looked at Alexander in horror. What? Blood poured out of his head. Oh. Alexander knelt down next to her. I can fix that. Let me. Get away from me, you freak! The woman held her injuries and scooted away from him on the sand. People took out their phones and started filming. Ghostman landed next to Alexander. What happened to not hurting anybody? I just hit him as hard as Ghostman put his hands out. Okay, nothing to see here, folks. This was a mass murderer and medical personnel are on there. Why'd you let that freak out of jail? Where's Mega Punch? Alexander tried to help the bleeding woman up, but she spit in his face. Come on, kid. Ghostman tried to pull Alexander away, but he flew in the opposite direction, across the ocean, away from Mega City, across the waves. He'd been wearing his father's old costume. It was too big for him. He took it off and threw it in the ocean. At least in prison, no one hated him to his face. Kid. Ghostman flew up out of the water, holding the soaked costume. I told you to stay back. That guy killed people. I just killed him and They were scared, kid. And we had a deal you weren't gonna kill anyone. I didn't mean to kill him. I just hit him as hard as I could and I know. Ghostman ran his hand through his hair. I'm not good at this. Look, let's just move on to step 3. Meet the team. What team? Isn't everybody dead? Not everybody. Step 3, get approval from the team and continue your training. This place is garbage. You've been living here. Dr. Insane, the superhero doctor who cheated death for hundreds of years and uses black magic to heal heroes and villains alike, looked around Ghostman's disgusting detective's office. It's temporary. We're still finding a place for the Society of Heroes that's more secure. Ugh, we would have been better off in a demon world sewer, and you do not want to know what comes out of demons. He listened to something. No, it is not cute, Exaxel. I seriously question your methods. Ghostman was used to Insane, listening to voices. Are you talking to your imaginary friend again? He's not imaginary. He's a complex source of my magic that Fine. Insane, I have a new member of the team I want you to meet. Oh. Lovely, we could use some extra firepower. Alexander, wearing his father's soaked costume, walked into the room. Are you out of your mind? We need new members on the— No, absolutely not. Put him back in prison right now. He needs to get on the team. We don't have a lot of options. Do you know how many patients I had after his little black hole stunt in the center of the city? I lost control. Insane, just approve him for now, and if he makes it through training, we can decide then. Did he complete step 2? Sort of. No. He caved Sharktooth's head in with a single punch. The doctor's face darkened. He was known to heal anyone, hero or villain. He'd healed Sharktooth a dozen times. He killed people. What was I supposed to— Exaxel? Give me a spell to take the air out of the child's lungs. What? No! Dr. Insane slapped himself in the face. Insane? Ghostman grabbed Dr. Insane's shirt, but it was too late. Step 4. Train against team members. Alexander couldn't breathe. He fell to his knees, gasping for air. Ghostman lifted Dr. Insane in the air with telekinesis. Insane, put the spell off right now! Alexander was suffocating. He tried to fly away, tried to use his strength. Nothing. Alexander never knew his power was tied to the air he breathed. Without air, he was powerless. That's how his father died, fallen to the liquid villain, drowned. Why should I? If the young master believes we should just kill anyone who does harm, I'm only following his logic. Alexander's face went purple. Was this dying? Insane, so help me God, I will phase you into a wall if you don't take the spell off. So be it. He snapped his fingers. Alexander gasped for air on the floor. As soon as he could breathe, his eyes glowed golden with the power of 1,000 suns. He grabbed the doctor and smashed him through a window, up into the sky, high above Mega City. Go ahead, young master. Drop me. Prove Ghostman was wrong about you. Alexander hesitated. He felt the power pulsing in him. He was about to lose control when— Your father wanted you locked away forever. Do you really want Ghostman to hate you too? His eyes glowed with rage. The black hole split his chest open. He was about to throw Insane to the ground when— Noxus Eternus. He fell to the ground, grasping for his chest, powerless. With no air, when he hit the pavement, he would die.
The pavement hurtled towards him, faster, faster. Then Ghostman grabbed him, pulling him to safety.
Insane!
Dr. Insane, naked as the day he was born, floated down to the ground harmlessly. Thanks for the spell, Axel. I think it's a little juvenile that you punched me by getting in the nude, but it is what it is.
Take the spell off, now!
He's too emotional, Ghostman. And he thinks we should kill our problems, so really I'm just doing what he says.
Do you really think we could save the city by ourselves? A telekinetic freak and a doctor? Really?
Alexander was blacking out. The lack of air was pressing on him, hurting him. Ghostman was desperate.
I've seen this kid lift a building over his head. I've seen him hit Mega Punch harder than a 1,000-foot monster. We need him.
Alexander was going to die.
Please, Insane, we need him.
Fine. Snap. Alexander gasped for air. His eyes glowed, but he kept it under control.
Step 5. Trial mission.
The women that he'd kidnapped met the supervillain Mephisto's specifications. Young, frail, and beautiful. He modified the flesh clay from his clones to match their faces. Soon, the clones would be able to serve him, and the population would slowly come under his control.
You know, Ghostman's head phased through Mephisto's clay figure.
You should really take up painting. You made the mistake coming here, Ghostman. The clones made of life clay came alive, punching where Ghostman was. Ghostman phased through them and tried to use his ghost to take them down, but there were too many. I remember your limits, Ghostman. You can only be transparent for about 30 seconds, yeah? And Ghostman phased out of the clay vat, where Mephisto's clay came from. He tried to punch him in the face, but Mephisto was already there. He got him. Mephisto threw clay at him, stretching down on his flesh, immobilizing him.
You might want to give up now, Mephisto.
Why? Aquarius Vaxus, Dr. Insane said, as he emerged from the shadows. The clay creatures went nuts, beating each other to death. Mephisto laughed. Dr. Insane, you're a fool to help him, but even the two of you can't possibly... Kaboom! Mephisto was flying, high above the sky, above his graveyard, above his buildings. Alexander, his eyes glowing and his arms stretched to monstrous proportions, smiled a monstrous smile.
Like he said,
he's not alone anymore. Mephisto was tied up, surrounded by police. Paparazzi flashed as Ghostman and Dr. Insane took the podium.
We've captured the cloning villain Mephisto and we'll send him to supervillain prison, but recent events and the tragic passing of many members of the Society of Heroes have forced me to take control of the organization, welcoming past member Dr. Insane and a new member. He took a deep breath. Alexander had passed step 2 yesterday. He'd stopped a hurricane by cutting a storm in half with an energy blast. The kid was so powerful. Still, he was unstable. Was Ghostman making the right choice? Insane had doubts. Ghostman had doubts. But they needed him. They needed help. Mega Punch.
The crowd whispered, confused. Mega Punch had died. Mega Punch's funeral had made international news. Could he be back? But everyone went silent as Alexander took the stage. Ghostman's hands were shaking in fear. Step 6. If anyone on the team breaks the rules, send them to jail immediately.
They didn't have chocolate.
That's okay. Wham! Alexander punched Rockman as hard as he could. Rockman screamed in pain as his rock skin cracked. He struggled against Ghostman's telekinetic hold of him in the air.
You won't be able to break my skin. I'll break you.
Shut up. Ghostman handed Alexander his vanilla milkshake. He sipped it as the villain screamed.
We just want to know where Gamma Team has its hostages, Rockman. I think you and I both agree that experimenting on little girls is a bit much.
But it will all be worth it when we...
Hit him again.
Wham!
Rockman screamed out in pain.
Using torture to get confessions? Not very heroic, Ghostman. I mean, what would Mega Punch think of wham?
Alexander struck him so hard he broke Rockman's skin. Rockman screamed out in pain.
I met the guy who killed him, you know. He said he begged for mercy before he died. Oh, wasn't he your dad?
Alexander's chest caved open. Golden light poured out, stretching his body.
Kid?
But Alexander's monstrous side came out. My dad put me in prison because I was so powerful I could take on the entire Society of Heroes myself.
Wait!
Ghostman tried to hold back Alexander's punch, but it was too late. He hit him so hard that all the rock fell off of his skin, leaving his body exposed.
Do you really want to see what I'll do with you when I... Wait, please. I'll tell you where they are.
Ghostman and Alexander flew over Mega City to the top of a sugar factory.
You need to listen to me when I say to hold back, Ghostman said.
Yeah, well, I got the confession out of him, didn't I? They landed on the rooftop.
What did you promise me?
No killing. That's right.
A fiery portal opened and Dr. Insane, the third member of their team, stepped onto the rooftop.
I hate going to demon worlds. I always get a sunburn. Ah, Master Serial Killer. Don't kill anybody. I know.
Okay, these guys are pretty tough. Let's hit them smart.
A little girl screamed from inside the sugar factory. Dr. Insane's eyes glowed red. No. Let's just hit them hard. Alexander turned to Dr. Insane in surprise. Don't hold back. Just don't kill. Alexander slipped inside the window. Ghostman's hand started shaking. He wasn't sure if he was afraid of the villains, or if he was afraid of the thing he sent to stop them. The air inside the sugar factory was sweet and suffocating, but now it had a different smell too. Fear.
Gamma Team was pretty dangerous. They usually stayed out of Mega City because there were so many heroes, but now that they were all dead, they wanted a slice of the territory. Rockman, their muscle, was already in prison, but Airman, Waterman, and Fireman were free. Free to experiment on children.
Don't hurt me. Please. I want my mom.
Hush, Airman said, wisping a syringe with a sharp blade on the end.
Don't disrupt your breathing. It will interfere with my...
Boss, Waterman slinked up next to him.
Something ain't right.
Boom. Alexander smashed through Waterman's body, standing in front of the little girl.
Cool, you're made out of water. You know the guy who killed my dad was made out of water too?
Run, Fireman said. He blasted a giant plume of fire where Alexander was standing, where the little girl was lying, tied to the table. Ghostman put his hand on the little girl's arm, turning her transparent. But there was no need. Alexander had stretched out his entire body into a shield, protecting them. The kid was so powerful.
Impressive.
Airman wisped through the lab into the cage with the other kids.
But I only need one to keep going.
He grabbed a little boy. Airman sped away in the sky. Wait! Alexander tried to fly after him, but Ghostman put his hand on his arm.
Let me. You and Insane protect the kids here. But I don't trust you not to kill him. Be careful of Waterman.
Ghostman flew after him. Waterman regrouped his body and Fireman lit his hands on fire.
Oh yeah, kid? You gonna take us by yourself?
Oh, he's not alone, Dr. Insane said. He started pelvic thrusting in the middle of the lab. Fireman and Waterman burst out laughing.
Insane? Seriously?
Just one moment. My demon says I have to do it for 30... He thrust his pelvis. Seconds. His eyes glowed red. That's it. I'll take fire. You take water. Vixus Vaxus. Dr. Insane's arms turned into fire extinguishers, spraying Flame Man. Flame Man's body crumbled.
Okay, well, I'm out.
Waterman grabbed two kids and dove out the window towards the ocean. No! Alexander sped after them. As Waterman and the kids dove down towards the water, Alexander dove down towards them at full speed. The kids reached up to him. He would not fail them. Splash. Waterman, the kids, and Alexander went underwater. Alexander grabbed the kids and kicked towards the surface when...
I don't think so, kid.
Waterman, big as a house in the ocean, pushed water down on Alexander and the kids. Alexander got his powers from oxygen. When he could breathe, he was godlike. But now, he was powerless.
No.
Alexander's eyes glowed golden. He didn't care if he lived or died. But if he failed, those kids in his arms would never grow up. Alexander stretched his neck longer and longer. It looked kind of ridiculous. He was being pushed deeper and his neck was almost 50 feet.
Ha! What's that neck gonna do when you...
Alexander stuck his head out of the water. He breathed a single breath. Waterman tried to slick away when Alexander stretched his hands into a huge bowl, scooping him up out of the ocean.
Hey, wait!
Waterman tried to get away, but Alexander's hands closed around him. He flew with the kids holding onto his back onto the surface of the beach. He smiled. Run, he told the kids. He turned to Waterman, frantically slinking towards the ocean. Alexander blasted through Waterman's body, scattering droplets of water everywhere. Waterman was 3 feet tall, slithering towards the ocean.
Wait, I just take orders!
Blast. Alexander hit him again, scattering him to pieces. Waterman was 2 feet tall. Blast. 1 foot tall. Alexander stretched his hand around Waterman.
Okay, you got me.
Alexander heated his hand. Waterman screamed as he started evaporating.
Wait, please, I'm sorry.
Ghostman grabbed Waterman out of Alexander's hand, turning him transparent. That's enough. Waterman jumped toward the beach, slinking into the wet sand, escaping.
You let him escape. You can't.
People are watching. People were recording them both.
with their phones in shock. Their faces weren't those of gratitude, of people who'd just been saved. They were faces of terror. Ghostman knelt down to see if the kids were okay. The boy he'd saved from Airman was hugging one of the girls. Safe. Alexander turned towards the crowd. He breathed. Today we saved these kids from Gamma Crew. They, were new to us, but they were nothing we couldn't handle. Now, I'm sure that the kids want some rest, so we're gonna get them back to their—
You're not Mega Punch, somebody in the crowd said.
You're that monster that attacked Master Square 4 years ago, one of the women recording said. The crowd murmured. Yeah, Mega Punch's kid? Didn't he kill like 6,000? 16,000. Ghostman put his hand on Alexander's shoulder, flying in the air. Come on, kid. Alexander turned around. Yeah, that's me. The crowd went silent. I've made mistakes. I've hurt people. But I'm trying to change. Alexander held back tears. When my father died, I didn't want his name to be in vain. So I decided to take his name, Mega Punch, and make up for my mistakes by being— You ain't Mega Punch! Somebody threw a beer bottle at Alexander's head. It cracked, bouncing off him harmlessly. Get the hell out of our city, somebody else in the crowd said. The people started screaming. Ghostman pulled Alexander up into the air. Now, come on. Alexander looked out at the crowd. But he looked at the kids he saved. They were hiding behind a mother in the crowd, terrified of him. Hours later, Dr. Insane knocked on Alexander's door. Busy? Nah. Dr. Insane looked at the disgusting bedroom in Ghostman's apartment that Alexander was staying in. Ugh, the sooner we can move into the society headquarters, the better. I don't understand how Ghostman can live like this. The last room I was in was a prison, so Dr. Insane laughed. Can I sit? Sure. Dr. Insane sat next to him. You almost took it too far today, Ghostman told me. Alexander looked out the window. Yeah? You know, I wasn't in favor of you joining our team. I had the same opinion as those people out there. Ghostman told me they were quite upset. Alexander sulked. He felt like the worst superhero in the world. His dad had wanted him to be better than this, and he was messing everything up. Dr. Insane sighed. It smelled like someone peed in every single corner of this room. Can you go, please? You know how at my hospital, I heal both heroes and villains? Yeah, I healed the man who killed my wife. Did you know that? Alexander turned to him in shock. He was my apprentice. He wanted me to teach him how to summon a demon, and I thought it was too dangerous. I didn't let him. I never knew I would lose her like that. Lose him, too. When I summoned Hellfire and burned his skin to a crisp, it felt so good. Alexander remembered crushing Waterman in his hand. Yeah, but afterwards, after all that pain went away, I just felt embarrassed. Because, well, Ghostman won't feel this way because he's a goody two-shoes, but when you get angry, when you want revenge, it feeds on you. But when you get your revenge, the only thing you wanted the whole time, you just wish you never got angry in the first place. Because it's so easy to be angry, keeping those emotions in control, being good anyway. That's the hard part. He put his hand on Alexander's shoulder. I guess I heal the villains because I want them to be good. Just like I want to be. Just like I want you to be. Alexander was stunned. We never could have beat those guys if it wasn't for you. Do you know that? Really? Dr. Insane smiled. Really? And those kids, the ones that were scared of you, they're safe. Every one of them. Because of you. Alexander's fist unclenched. But I'm still angry. Dr. Insane smiled. I know. They say keeping anger in control is hard. This is what hard feels like. And suddenly, Alexander didn't care if he was hated. At least, for now. Ghostman looked out over the city. So many crimes, and the prison transport holding Rockman was broken into by the other members of the Gamma team. They got away. He wasn't good at this. There was a sound. Paint scraping down a wall, turning into a face made entirely of blackness. So, you got Murder Boy to join you. Do you really think that's gonna stop me? Ghostman turned around with his hands ignited with ghosts. Insane! Alexander! But the rooftop was empty. The Painted Man was already gone. It was just as Ghostman feared. The Painted Man wasn't dead. He was waiting to strike. The most terrifying villain ever does something very simple. He controls paint. He's made out of this black paint, with white eyes, white lips, and a body that's constantly struggling to stay together. His body looks like it's about to melt into a puddle 24/7. He's not intimidating. He looks like sentient sludge in the corner of a room. But his eyes aren't human. They're fake. Paint made to look human, like a painting from a toddler. He has no organs, no brain, no soul. And the only thing he wants is to watch people die.
See? I don't just control paint,
he said to the Society of Strength, the most powerful supervillain alliance in Mega City, sliding down their $60,000 table as villains like Cyborg Master and Money Man watch him with disgust.
I control all liquid, so I will accept control of your organization immediately.
Ha! Good one, Moneyman said. He snapped his finger and Dragon, an 8-foot, muscle-bulging dragon man with a gold collar around his neck, swiped through the painted man's body with his claws. Dragon breathed fire at the puddle of black paint, setting the expensive table on fire. The painted man was neutralized. The villains laughed. Moneyman picked at his teeth with a huge diamond.
This guy killed Mega Punch? He ain't so...
The fire snuffed out. Moneyman froze.
Boss,
Dragon said, scanning the room.
As I was saying...
The painted man's puddle body formed again. He smiled, but his eyes never changed. They were eyes of pure hatred.
I control all liquid. The liquid in Moneyman's body is easy for me to control.
Dragon tried to swing at the painted man again with his claws, but he stopped. He couldn't move. Hey, what? The villains panicked, but they were all frozen too. The painted man had taken control of the liquid in their bodies.
Choke yourselves.
The villains stared in disbelief as the blood and pus in their bodies turned against them, choking themselves. They screamed in rage and pain as their faces turned red, then purple, then black. They tried to activate their powers, but they couldn't. Painted Man slinked down the table and put his huge black face up to Moneyman's.
Do you know what happens when my paint touches you, Moneyman?
The paint was inches from his face.
The liquid from your body becomes a part of me, and I leave your bones behind. Now give me control of your organization, because if not, I'm really, really hungry.
Moneyman's body unimmobilized. This was his chance to stay alive.
Ding, all the money you made in your whole career and offshore accounts you stole over the past year are mine. Ha! And the riches you got from offing those heroes? Mine. Look, buddy, you got some moves, but you need guidance. Come on, have a seat at the table.
Moneyman's eyes flicked to the other villains, the scariest villains in Mega City. All of them were choking on the verge of passing out, terrified. But Moneyman had come too far to be muscled like this.
Come on, don't you want to be rich?
Painted Man looked at Moneyman for a moment.
Come on, you need us. You lost to Ghost Man for crack.
The Painted Man ate his face. The black paint slid down Moneyman's face, leaving his white skull poking through the black paint. The paint slinked down, taking his blood and muscle and sinew, leaving Moneyman's blank skeleton behind. Moneyman, the leader of the Society of Strength, who paid every supervillain in Mega City and ruled them with an iron fist for 10 years, was dead.
Disgusting. Too many coins, you know? That little appetizer was yummy. Who else wants to be my food?
Heads appeared out of the Painted Man's body and faced the villains with white lips and fake eye smiles.
Anyone else want to tell me I can't have what I want?
Ghostman watched the sunrise. The Painted Man spoke to him then, right after he killed Moneyman and took control of the Society of Strength.
So, you got Murder Boy to join you. Do you really think that's gonna stop me?
Ghostman turned around with his hands ignited with ghost energy. Insane! Alexander, get... But the rooftop was empty. The Painted Man was already gone. What is it, Uncle Ghosty? Alexander flew up to him. Check for shadows, puddles of liquid, quickly. Okay. Alexander flew around the rooftop and down the building faster than a bullet. The kid wasn't ready. He killed a villain with one punch last week. He's barely a hero. Dr. Insane floated up to the rooftop in a bubble, completely naked. Insane! Gah!
What? My demon has a 12-year-old sense of humor and maybe disrobe for the bubble spell. I don't pick what punishments he does. Come on, you haven't seen a naked man before?
Insane, Painted Man's here. Dr. Insane usually joked around, but today he was deadly serious. He saw how many people went to his hospital from the Painted Man. He saw how many people died. Exaxel, give me a clarity spell. He listened to the air. Ghostman?
Yeah?
I'm sorry about this. About? Dr. Insane kissed Ghostman on the lips. Alexander flew up to the rooftop. Ah! He covered his eyes. Gross! Ghostman pushed Dr. Insane off of him. Insane! That's completely inappropriate. I know, my demon thinks it's funny. Dr. Insane wiped his lips. Sorry. His eyes crackle with magic energy. His clairvoyant spell let him see the whole city. I found him.
Really? Where?
He's right. Dr. Insane's stomach dropped. Ghostman got chills.
Alexander, get down!
What? A tendril of black liquid snaked up the side of the building at lightning speed. Alexander tried to fly out of the way, but the liquid forced itself down Alexander's throat, choking him. Ugh! Alexander tried to fly away. He crashed into an adjacent building, but the liquid was forcing itself down his throat. He was drowning. He was drowning on dry land. I'll get him. Insane slapped himself in the face and teleported to the building where Alexander was. I knew you weren't dead. Ghostman lit his hands up with ghosts. Where are you? What's the matter? Too scared to fight me on your slam. A jet black tentacle of paint, faster than a snake, whizzed up the side of the building and punched Ghostman across the face. He flew around, falling, trying to decide which way was up when a giant, thin, black monster made of paint peeked out from behind the building.
Peekaboo.
Insane, Alex! But the Painted Man's thin, wispy body pulled the two of them, Dr. Insane and Alexander, out from the building. They were coughing, choking on black paint, stuck into his giant hand. Ghostman flew towards them as fast as he could. The Painted Man's tendrils swung towards him, but he went transparent at just the right time, his body passing through the blows with no issue. He was a spinning ball of ghost energy. He phased through the Painted Man's tentacles and passed into his black body. The Painted Man screamed and tried to punch through himself, but Ghostman was faster. Ghostman grabbed Dr. Insane and Alexander out of the muck of the Painted Man's body and was about to free them when schluck, his transparency ran out. The paint was all around him now, pressing into him. He was suffocating, drowning in paint, black every direction. He couldn't breathe. The last time he fought Painted Man, he wondered if he was dying. Now he knew he was gonna die. His pocket. He had to reach it, but he didn't have the strength. The Painted Man held Ghostman up to his face, up to his fake mouth and fake eyes, and smiled.
You're the last ones, you know. Once I get you, the only ones left will be me and my friends.
Ghostman looked down at the city, horrified. The villains, the entire society of strength, were out in full force, corralling innocent people into a line leading them to be eaten by the Painted Man's black paint.
Can I tell you a secret? I'm going to eat them too, the little ants working for me. And then I'm going to eat everyone in Mega City and America and the world. The whole planet is going to be painted black. The whole planet's gonna wear my face.
The people screamed out for help as the villains readied the first one to be pushed into the Painted Man, turning their flesh into more liquid for his rapidly expanding black paint body. The paint ate into Alexander's skin. He screamed in pain as he choked on the tendril of black paint in his mouth. His hyper-resistant skin repelled the Painted Man's skin-eating paint, barely. Dr. Insane's shield spell was wearing down. He was gonna die too. In a minute, they would both be eaten, and Ghostman would be all alone.
You're going to watch as I kill everyone you've ever loved. And then I'm going to eat you last.
Ghostman started laughing. The Painted Man's huge eyes turned towards him.
What's so funny?
I tried so hard. I didn't sleep for days trying to stop you, but you're still so stupid.
What?
The Painted Man's paint ate into Ghostman's skin. It was the worst pain he had ever felt. Every part of him felt like it was on fire, but Ghostman could still reach into his jacket pocket. In the line of villains, Dragon was about to push the first person into the line, a little girl, into the Painted Man's body. Ghostman pulled out the vial of salt from his jacket.
Isn't it funny that someone as big and mean as you can be beaten by something you can buy in bulk for $3 at the grocery store?
Ghostman threw salt into the Painted Man's eyes. The salt ate into his skin, his body melted. The Painted Man screamed.
Alexander, don't hold back.
But you said
Do it. Let it go.
Alexander screamed. The black hole in Alexander's chest opened, sending tendrils of golden light crashing into the Painted Man's body, the buildings, his face, his hands. Skyscrapers shook as people ran for cover, and Alexander's body stretched out to be the size of the Painted Man's. Alexander's giant body punched the Painted Man in the face, sending black paint splattering everywhere.
Get him in the ocean,
Ghostman screamed. Dr. Insane danced around like a hula girl on the Painted Man's hand.
La 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 hee hee.
The Painted Man turned to see what he was doing when teleportation time. Pop. The Painted Man, Alexander, and Ghostman all teleported out into the city's bay, into the city's ocean. Dr. Insane's nose gushed blood. Too much magic. The Painted Man screamed, "No!" His huge painted body fell into the sea spray. He tried to stretch across the ocean into the city, but it was too late. Ghostman grabbed Dr. Insane and watched as the Painted Man melted into the sea.
You can never kill me, Ghostman. I'll make you pay. I'll make you pay.
He said he would never kill. No one that knows death in the way that Ghostman does would hope for that. But secretly, he hoped that the Painted Man would die.
Sabrina is alive, Ghostman. I have her, and you'll never see her again.
Ghostman dove towards the Painted Man, reaching out to save him. He didn't care that touching the Painted Man would kill him instantly. He had to save her. He had to find her. No! Alexander grabbed Ghostman and held him back. Ghostman punched Alexander in the face without thinking and dove. He has her! I have to! But it was too late. The Painted Man's face melted into the surf. Gone. People cheered as Ghostman, Dr. Insane, and Alexander received their medals from the president of Mega City. Hailed as the new Society of Heroes. Ghostman smiled for the cameras. But after all the cameras stopped clicking, and Ghostman sat on his new bed in the fancy Society of Heroes headquarters, he started sobbing. Uncle Ghosty? Alexander walked into the room, and Ghostman turned away from him, hiding his tears. What's wrong?
He has my daughter, Alexander.
That monster has my little girl.
Thanks for watching. Bye.